Hello friends and welcome to Figure Study, where we are getting back to Studio Series Transformers with Studio Series Rampage. I am so excited for Studio Series Devastator. Oh, the Constructicons were one of the big ones that I was hoping they would do with Studio Series, and I'm so glad they're doing that. And I'm super hyped for that. Yes, definitely. Anyway, Rampage. It's a bulldozer. It is red, as I understand it. Red is what Rampage is supposed to be, not yellow. But never saw Revenge of the Fallen. Never will. You can't make me. But anyway, just kind of roundabout getting to, as I understand it, this is the screen-accurate color. And yeah, I mean, it's a bulldozer. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I'm not super well versed in construction vehicles, but the detailing is nice. It's a little bit messy right in here, but not terrible. I like how the treads, while they're solid, they don't like move or roll or anything like that. I like how they're molded to kind of have this little kind of wave to them that makes them look a little bit more natural. There you can see it better. Where it just kind of has, kind of buckles and moves up and down along with the wheels, as opposed to the older Rampage where it's just straight and around. We'll get to a more direct comparison in a bit, but yeah, it's a nice little detail. I wish you could do more with these. Like, you can kind of tuck them in there, but that doesn't really accomplish anything. I feel like, it would have been nice if these could maybe tuck in there somehow, or just fold up and like meet in the middle, but whatever. And you get the venting detail in the front there, and the cab, which has some nice painted windows, and then the big silver scoop, or whatever this is, plow, whatever it's called. Yeah, simple, but effective. Gets the job done. Looks the part. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, can't really say much about it. The back is a little messy, but overall, it's not a bad-looking bulldozer. I'm okay with it. The red, while not necessarily what I'd assume would be, typical for a construction vehicle, I feel like it works here. Anyway, for the standard comparisons, here he is with a Siege Deluxe, and, definitely bigger than a Deluxe. Granted, he's a Voyager, so that stands to reason, but, with Studio Series, it's hard to tell sometimes. And here he is with the Duck Tank. And here he is with the older Revenge of the Fallen Rampage, non-Studio Series. And, I mean, like I said, I'm not a bulldozer guy. I don't really know how these things are supposed to look versus how they look here. But looking at them side by side, I feel like Studio Series Rampage looks overall more normal. And I normally don't really talk about proportions in vehicle modes, but I feel like the size of the shovel, scoop, whatever in the front, the size of the cab, the size of the treads, like, this all works better for me than this does. Keep in mind, I love this thing. I know people hate on Revenge of the Fallen Rampage, but I've actually really liked this guy for a very long time. So, despite my feelings for this guy, I do feel like Studio Series ends up looking better in vehicle mode and a bit bigger. Alright, so with all of that out of the way, it is transformation time. Now, I'm not going to do the limb mode, because I just don't see the point when the other Constructicons are so far out. So we're just going to go straight to robot mode. And there we have Studio Series Rampage in robot mode. And just to get this out of the way right now, I'm going to remove his little smokestacks here. Those will plug in here to become little like palm gun things. I know I normally don't go over accessories, but these are kind of worked into the vehicle modes, so I'm moving them mostly because I feel like it looks a little bit cleaner without having them on the sides there. But yeah, there he is. There is Rampage in robot mode, and I gotta be honest, I didn't think I was gonna be super into Rampage with his pogo mode versus the centaur crab mode, but I really like this. This is really nice. The coloring is great. The detailing is great. It's just great. It's very different, very interesting. I mean, I do have some gripes, primarily in the arms. I wish he had elbows. I feel like there should have been a way to kind of get around that. It just would have been nice if he had elbows. But other than that, I actually really like this. He's such a weird robot. He's got this like little tapering pogo thing, but then he's also got these enormous arms. I like how you get a little bit of variability here with the waist section, where you can actually kind of bring it forward and back a little bit to give him more of like a kind of hunch, I guess you could say. He's just weird and different, but in a way I like. You know, it's kind of like with Revenge of the Fallen Demolisher or Revenge of the Fallen Rampage in the other mode. It's just, I like it that they do something weird. This is definitely not typical Transformer robot proportions. There's nothing humanoid about this. He still kind of has a crab vibe, just because of the big claws, but they're not, you know, crab claws, obviously. The color breakup is great. There's like a lot of little silver kind of mixed into the red all along the body. And of course, the arms, you've got some gray, some silver, some red, some black. It's a really nice mixture of colors. Moving on to the detailing, I do appreciate the fact that he comes with a base, and I also appreciate the fact that the base stores in vehicle and limb mode. This detailing is just interesting. I like the kind of layered effect they've got going here. It's not quite biomechanical. It's more like mechanicological. I don't know. It looks more mechanical than biological, but it still kind of has a little bit of both in there. I like that they have these pistons here, which, yeah, it's kind of a cheat, but those do look nice. And even like in the chest there, it's nice. Rivets along the back of the neck there. I love how those are picked out in silver. I'm really fond of the big, weird claws. I need to tighten this. That's a little loose. But yeah, I like the big spindly fingers, the kind of double thumb. I do wish that this could angle more, because like if you have to kind of angle the thumb-ish thing weird in order to make it really stand out as a gun. And if you push it in, it doesn't really look like a gun, but then at least it's kind of, there's a gap for it, so it does kind of poke through. I like the silver detailing along here as well. And this detail is actually facing inward in vehicle mode. You don't even get to see that, so it's cool that they painted that for the robot mode. Actually, all of this is facing inward in the vehicle mode. The back is okay. I'm fine with this being a different color. I'm okay with this just kind of being his back. It's not great, but at least it sits pretty flush with the body. The only thing that kind of disappoints me is this. I kind of wish that this could do something, like, you know, possibly disconnect and like hinge up to kind of fill this in more or something. I don't know, it's just a little weird having the entire cab of the vehicle mode just kind of sticking off of his little tail poppy thing. And as for the head, that is a very, very creepy insectile looking face, and I like that a lot. The sculpting is nice. Yeah, it's the same red as everything else, but like the detailing is really nice, how they kind of separated things out with like the black on top of the silver on top of the black, the silver going along the top there. It's really, really nice. Really well done. Really creepy. Kind of has like a lobster mouth or spider mouth or whatever. And yeah, he's cool. I keep saying that, but he's cool. I like that he's weird, but he's weird in a way that is cool. Having the treads kind of trailing off his arms is also cool. And now, moving along to more typically humanoid robots, here you can see him with a Siege Deluxe, and he's definitely bigger, definitely different. Here he is looking fairly substantially bigger than the Duck Tank. And here he is with the Centaur Crab, Revenge of the Fallen Rampage. And I gotta say, detailing and sculpt-wise, as much as I like him, I think Studio Series Rampage wins it. There are still things that I like and even prefer about this Rampage over this one, but yeah, no, overall, totally him. In terms of things that I kind of prefer, I appreciate the fact that they had that like weird kind of spring-loaded gimmick where you could like attach the pistons to his legs and make his legs into the unit leg thing and make him kind of pogo. But I enjoy the option for the Centaur mode, and I think it's much better for standing. And I think it looks cool because it is very different. However, you know, that's much more better realized as compared to the movie depiction, and also it's just got to stand. Like, it's a simple thing to adjust. And while I do know that this is way more movie accurate, I will say I like how this Rampage has the pistons kind of going up over his shoulders, and I kind of like how these arms look versus these arms in just a general shape sense. I mean, I wouldn't mind if these arms still had the giant claws at the end, but I kind of like how these come out and up to kind of bring the tread out a little bit more, and you kind of get a similar shape right up here. But then there are these treads, and I really like how the treads come through his hands to be used as whips, which, as I understand it, is kind of how it was in the movie. This one, that doesn't work. That is unfortunate. I don't think it's like, you know, a huge detriment or anything like that, but I do kind of wish that there was a way for these treads to go all the way down so it kind of came out of his hands like whips, like this one does. And then in terms of overall size, I mean, he's dwarfing the original Revenge of the Fallen Rampage, although not half his mass, but a decent chunk of his mass is just kind of back there for his crab mode. So yeah, that pretty much settles that in my mind. As much as I like this guy, this is so much more superior, I think, to the point where I am actually considering getting rid of this guy, along with my Mixmaster. I don't know about Mixmaster because I haven't actually seen images of Studio Series Mixmaster, but I'm definitely getting Studio Series Mixmaster. There's no question about that. That is happening because I'm getting that Devastator. But I'm not entirely sure if I want to get rid of my Revenge of the Fallen Mixmaster or if I want to hang on to him when I get the Studio Series. I don't know. But it's one of those things. I'm undecided. And I do believe that is going to do it for Studio Series Rampage. Very weird. Definitely got his limitations, and I've definitely got some nitpicks here and there. But overall, I really like this guy. I'm genuinely impressed with just how much they managed to like pick out and paint, how many details they sculpted in there and painted, the fact that he is, in effect, a triple changer. I think they did a really good job with this. I'm hoping that they do a really good job with all the other Constructicons. So I do have Scrap Metal, I think, is the other one, and despite his overall comparable simplicity, I actually really like Scrap Metal a lot, so fingers crossed the rest of the Constructicons are also cool. But that's enough about what I think. What do you all think of Studio Series Rampage? I know not a ton of people like the original Revenge of the Fallen toy, so in your mind, is this an adequate replacement? Are you still just turned off by the weirdness? Are you just not into the movie Constructicons? Because I could totally see that too, because a lot of the movie bots are kind of not great. Whatever your thoughts, feel free to chime in down below. I always enjoy hearing from you all. And while you're at it, also feel free to like, subscribe, or if you're feeling generous, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link down in the description below. Any of those things would make me a happy Rob. And remember, art is more than meets the eye.